What show is overrated but is treated like a masterpiece? Don't forget to sort by controversial. Edit. Also make sure you scroll through the sea of Breaking Bad. You mean sort by Breaking Bad? I can genuinely see people fairly just not liking Breaking Bad, but I don't see how it can be considered overrated or not good. It's ambitious, well written and excellently shot. It had a singular vision for all seasons and nailed exactly what it set out to do. Especially putting the show into the context of the time period it came out where this was still a relatively rare thing to happen, it's astonishing how consistent it was. I had a hard time getting into the show, past the first episode. But once I did, it was a roller coaster ride. No filler, every episode had a purpose. I can see people not being fan of the show thematically, but I would never call it overrated. It's rated highly because it's of high quality. This Is Us. It's trauma porn, intense emotional sensations to get your weekly cry in, which is healthy sure but not the masterpiece everyone's mom makes it out to be. Definitely a lot that can mentioned here, but for me, The Walking Dead is something that always baffled me how it went beyond 2 seasons. They had the same loop of storyline repeated in every season. They run, they find shelter, they go out for food, someone gets bitten, they get overrun, they have to find somewhere new. Rinse and repeat for like 10 seasons. The first season followed the themes of the comic very closely and that was great. It demonstrated how fragile civilization was and how quickly people would descend into a state of complete barbarity. The zombies were just setting for the human drama. But then they cheaped out and fired an excellent showrunner. But now it seems like the real challenge is for the writers to come up with some new kind of settlement organized with some new kind of deeply horrific rules, and there are really only a few that are plausible. All the bad guys, pretty much, are from the comics still, just the stories are very different. My favorite part of the show is how new cars models kept showing up years after the fall, like Japan was fine and was delivering brand new cars to the side of the road in Georgia for them to find, all with a full tank of gas and a brand new charged battery. Lol, gotta love product placement. The cars must be clean, but it's the apocalypse. No, if there's any dirt on them people won't buy our cars, wah. It would be funny if at the end of the series everyone finds out the rest of the world has been normal for years. Only the US was infested and not the brightest of people survived. Isn't that part of 28 Days Later? They finally get out of the city and the main character is laying down looking up and sees a commercial jet flying overhead like normal. Edit, fix spoiler tags for some folks. It was a military jet and the rage virus was contained only in the UK at that point. It was contained. Until the end of 28 weeks later. Grey's Anatomy, that show just needs to end. Wait, it's still going? You know they are grasping for plot points when they add a second surprise half-sister. A second surprise half-sister? So you mean to tell me it's already been done and they're doing it again? If your dad is the type to give you a surprise half-sister, your odds of having another surprise half-sibling probably go up exponentially. No one in this thread understands a masterpiece versus a show people like. So you're telling me 13 Reasons Why isn't considered a masterpiece? What a surprise. People don't think Big Bang Theory is a masterpiece? Those people are crazy. The moments where Sheldon says bazinga still make me contemplate my life. Bazongo, Sheldon. Bust out the downvotes, folks. The Super Bowl. No continuity. They keep changing the main characters every goddamn year. The central romantic arc between Tom Brady, everyone on Earth got stale real quick. Weirdest laugh track of any show on this list, guaranteed. The lack of female representation is beyond cringe. Besides Tom Brady, there isn't a single female character for almost 30 seasons. But the final straw for me was the way they killed off Kaepernick. Finally get a character with real substance, kill him off. BC cancel culture has no ducking boundaries. Uck. Y'all just naming every show that blew up. One of the top comments is Big Bang Theory. I was not prepared for such bravery. I bet if I sorted by controversial I'd see Breaking Bad with 500 downvotes. The only way you'll see any shows that are actually considered masterpieces is if you sort by controversial and look at the ones with 500 downvotes. The answers in these threads always just amount to the popular show, which makes me cooler because I don't like it. Yes, I do think disliking Game of Thrones is a personality trait. Firefly. I haven't heard a single good thing about any season after the first. Way to rub salt in a wound I thought had healed. You are a leaf on the wind. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. This is coming as someone who loves anime and whose favorite show is Naruto. But it's Naruto. That show is great, and 45% filler episodes. Do I need to say more? Holy crap, this comment gained traction. None of these shows mentioned at the top are considered masterpieces. Edit, at the time of writing. Don't know what's up top now. You know, the classic television masterpiece How I Met Your Mother. Much like storied Academy Award winner The Big Bang Theory. You know what's not on this list? Futurama, because it's ducking perfect. I almost got my knickers in a twist midway in your comment. Seriously, the show is perfect from start to finish. It's the only show I've rewatched, and I've rewatched it like 4 times. It's sad that it ended, but also very glad it has an end, unlike The Simpsons or Family Guy, which just keeps spiraling down in quality because the show's end is long overdue. And the ending goes seamlessly right back into the first episode. It's made to loop into rewatching. The last episode is an absolute masterpiece. Didn't really think a show like that would make me cry, but here we are. Jurassic Bark, Game of Tones, and The Luck of the Friarish have entered the chat. The Big Bang Theory, I cannot stress this enough. Not listed, The Wire. Why? Because it's awesome. Gilmore Girls. Rory is a horrible person. In this thread, 1. Shows everyone agrees have always been awful, nobody thinks they're a masterpiece. 2. Shows that had a good first season or 2 then declined, nobody thinks later seasons are a masterpiece. 3. Shows that are watched as a guilty pleasure and even the fans don't take very seriously, nobody thinks they're a masterpiece. I thought this would be the thread where people finally understood what overrated means, but it's just that same old thread again. Number 4. People complaining about what's at the top. I'm late to the thread and 910 top upvoted posts are ducking repeats of moaning about no one understanding the thread. This is the most anti-content thread I've read in a long time. If no one else will say it, I will. Squid Game is way overhyped. I've seen people say it's the best Netflix show or even the best Korean show. If people give other Asian media a chance, they'll find way better than automatically assuming that the first Asian show they see on Netflix is the best thing ever. I'm waiting for someone to mention The Wire so we can fight. I have my sleeves rolled up. You come at The Wire, you best not miss. Stranger Things. Oh, come on, tears, no debate here. I mean, does anyone beat Money Heist? This show drives me crazy. They want to set up an elaborate, long-term heist that requires everyone to work together and be professional. So they use a bunch of horny idiots with no impulse control. Friends. Game of Thrones hands down, it left good threads hanging but never really stitched them into anything. Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm. In reality, neither of them are funny. How I Met Your Mother. Every episode glorifies Ted's toxic behavior and makes it look romantic. I get so triggered watching that show. Suits. Most of the episodes consists of these high and mighty lawyers consistently running into dead ends, not knowing what to do, but they will be having a side conversation and the person they're talking to makes one remark about something and that's it, they have found their answers. On to the next episode to do the same exact thing. It's cheap writing and office drama, he said she said stuff. Stop saying Friends and The Big Bang Theory. Not a single person has ever called either masterpieces, especially not the latter. Rick and Morty. It gets way too much credit for a show filled with nonsense and fart jokes. Lucifer. I absolutely adored this show in the early seasons, but the quality dropped when it was saved by Netflix, and S5 and S6 were just god-awful. In the beginning, the relationship between Lucifer the detective was great because she was able to resist his charm and you had the mystery of why she made him vulnerable. Then she lost all personality whatsoever and the cases became completely secondary to the otherworldly aspects. At its heart, this was a procedural crime show. Of course it was still silly in a lot of ways, but it had good heart and was funny and charming. This all drained away, and to say the final couple of seasons were a chore would be an understatement. Edit. Okay guys, I get it, Lucifer is not a masterpiece. You don't have to keep telling me.